Yes, today is the day we're replacing the steering wheel on the M5 today. Of course, this is a nice fresh steering wheel. A little reluctant at first to replace the steering wheel just because I didn't want to buy a new one. And then of course, the aftermarket support or sort of OEM equivalents, a lot of them don't look right to me. They're either too thick, the leather looks kind of funky, or it doesn't look great quality, or the stitching looks off, something like that. So I was talking to a guy on the forums and the Facebook groups. His name is Dei Vas. I think that's how you say it. The company is DB Car Parts. And what they do, of course, is factory replacements or refurbishments of parts for, of course, the E39 M5 and a lot of other BMWs, the E90 and E92. There's pretty much, it appears to be most BMW models, they do the replacement. So this is a factory size steering wheel. So this is the OEM spec thickness and size. And then of course it has the stitching, which I'll give you a couple close-ups of. And also when they refurbish these, they replace the foam underneath. And then they also of course rewrap this with nice Italian Nappa leather. So that is really nice. What I like is the leather, it doesn't appear to be like stretched, or there's no like imperfections. Like it looks really nice. I've seen other wheels that have been refinished that they just don't look right. They look like they've just been rewrapped. And this one just looks factory. So I really like that. The other thing, which if you're a detail person, you can appreciate, is plastic pieces like this especially has been refurbished, because when you have a nice fresh wheel and this is all scratched up from 20 years of use or faded or whatever, it kind of sucks to kind of just put that back. So it's nice that mine has a fresh wheel, fresh piece right here, the plastic piece. So anyways, this should be a direct swap because my car already has an updated steering wheel. It's just in really bad shape, so I'll show you that. I'll give you a couple close-ups right now, and then we'll jump in the car and swap it out. All right, so I'm just gonna give you just a quick little once-over, some close-ups of the wheel. All right, so I'm gonna give you a couple just handheld close-ups here just because the lighting is a little bit off just in the garage here, but it looks really good. There's no weird like stretch marks. The stitching looks fresh. Of course it looks fresh, but it also looks even and even throughout. So you can see kind of the way everything looks. It looks really nice, really matte, of course, because it's been completely redone. But it's nice to see the stitching kind of meeting up there. That looks nice. Like it looks proper, like tied up in that corner there. Of course we're nitpicking, but this is a piece that you see every time you drive and you touch every time you drive, and it really enhances kind of the experience of the car, of course. So it looks really nice. And of course I did mention this plastic piece here, which any older car, especially like these BMWs, it just wears away. It gets chipped, it gets faded. So it's nice that this will be fresh as well. This is the factory thickness. I did mention that already, but because it's so fresh, it almost looks thicker. And we'll grab the other one. Maybe it's because this, maybe it's because the foam underneath is nice and super fresh. On the current wheel, it's kind of probably beat up, so maybe that's part of it. But anyways, that's the up close and personal shots of the wheel. I really like this, and I'm really excited to have like an OEM replacement in the car. All right, let me show you what we got going on in the car. Mine is a April of 2000 build. So this steering wheel, of course, has already been replaced with a facelifted, but you can see that this looks terrible. It's shiny. I've done the leather eek treatment, and I know the lighting kind of throws this off, but if you guys can see, oh yeah, so I'm sorry, I need to manage my lighting better, but see how this section is just kind of shiny and it's even, and then right when you hit this, it's just terrible. So pretty obvious, there's no real going back, but it's mainly this top portion. If you look close, it doesn't look so good. So we're gonna replace this out. All right, we got a 10 millimeter, which may not be factory size. I feel like it's supposed to be an 8, but who knows. All right, I'm going to put this piece of wood right here to prevent it from connecting back, because you definitely want it disconnected because you're taking the airbag out. Okay, so battery's disconnected. There are two slots behind here on the left and right side, so I actually locked this here, and I don't think that's an issue. I meant to lock it in the middle, but it just didn't happen. So what you're gonna do, and I'll show you once I get this off, is they're like spring loaded. You can see the airbag moving, but they're tiny little holes with the leather cut. They're little slits. I'll show you once I get it off. Oh, there we go. So that's one side. All right, we're gonna try a different one. Can't reach it somehow. You just have to push. You don't have to unscrew anything. You just push two tabs. Can't frickin' see anything. It feels like, oh yeah. Tell me that's not it. It's kind of weird playing with the airbag like this, but that's why we disconnected the battery. Can I just pull this shit out? Come on. It's like, oh, this side. There we go. All right. Damn. That's kind of weird. So we got these. Stick it here. Give it a slight. There we go. See how you lift that? They're both the same, and then you should be able to just lift it straight out. There we go. Okay. Airbag out. Sorry, filming inside this car, any car, really sucks. All right, so there's a little ground on this right side here. So take this off. Okay. And then we're gonna jump ahead. 16 millimeter, is it? Yes. Okay. Remember, the steering wheel is slightly cocked, so oh yeah, we do have to remove this. God damn. So this little, both of these at the top. There we go. That took like 20 minutes because I don't want to break it, and I almost broke it. I stuck this, if you can see it, on top and gave it just a hair to twist it. That took entirely too long. All right. People are freaking calling me, which I don't like. All right, she's off. All right, let's do a quick little comparison. Of course, this is the old wheel, shiny here, worn here, and then this top part, there's a crack right there. Yeah, that's really bad. So this, of course, is nice and fresh. You guys saw the close-ups earlier, but you get the idea. So we just have to, we're gonna leave this spot because this is nice, but we do have to move these buttons onto the new wheel. All right, so T20, and we get this right here, this bolt, or yeah, this one. I already loosened them, so don't worry. Freaking loose, what the fuck? Oh, I was scared of it, guys. Huh? Okay. BMW, if this is not a T20, I'll be mad. It is, thankfully. Okay. We need this, obviously. Fresh steering wheel. Okay, it's always freaky doing that. Put these pieces in the new wheel. Of course, they should be fine. Tighten this bad boy. Don't forget to put these two, one here. All right, before I forget, I want to show you when you pop the wheel off, you stick this through here. It's like a little flap on each side, so each side has it, this side has the same. And then when you stick this through, it's coming through this, let me point at it with this other screwdriver. This pin right there is what you're pushing on for each side. And it's hard to get the perfect angle. There we go. See how that is moving? That's what you need to push on each side to release it, just in case you're wondering. All right, guys, here we go. Nice, fresh steering wheel. That's the word of the day, is fresh. You guys can see there is a little bit of sweaty marks, so I'm gonna clean that up a bit for my sweaty hands. This thing looks so good. Factory size, factory thickness, and of course, nice and clean from the Leatherique, so it matches the rest of the interior. It looks really good. The stitching too, I mean, this is so new looking, you know, of course it is new. The other one was just so faded, even when you cleaned it up, it was just 20 years. I mean, there's only so much you can do. The only thing I'll say is regarding this piece, this is nice and fresh. This is older, so this was from my other wheel that was in the car. So what I was trying to say is if you don't replace this piece, it may not completely match, and that's just because this one has not been refinished and this has, but otherwise looks good.